All right. Good. Let's see if we've fixed all our problems. Welcome back to University Star League, the first show event. And we have two in the middle of our two Masters players duking it out in a best of 5. And the first game was probably not that interesting for everyone watching on stream since it lagged like mad.
Well, yeah, I hope we at least gave them some information on what's happening in the game. Basically, Dash did a great job just with his attacks and macro overall, and took such an early lead in the economy, so later just went and killed him. It
was an easy win for him, it looked like. Do you think we're going to see any actual changes in the next games?
I hope for SPXylla that he has some other builds in his back pocket and just fine-tune those small mistakes that he did to make it a better best of 5 series overall.
Exactly. We want to try out our stream again and see if it's lagging or working this time. So let's try our player presentations again. Let's roll. Vi skiter i att köra filmen. All right. We're having some sound difficulties with the movie. Perfect. Oh, but we can hear ourselves in the locale now. Perfect. And I think we reduced all the lag, so let's just roll on with the event. And game number 2, and I think the two players are basically ready. We're going to fill the lobby. I think a big problem is here, we ran out of a lot of bitrate in this locale, and right now it's full of tech-savvy, awesome StarCraft playing nerds who are all connected on their smartphones, and they're like, we got internet. Less internet for us, and University Star League wants all the internet, but we can't have it for right now. All right, so the two players I think seem to be basically finished. Dash is figuring out how to get his sound up. I talked to SPXylla right before the game, and he said that he hadn't played Terran for a while. He said it was very hard to find Terran players on the ladder to fight against.
That is so true. Every time I ladder, I just get about 50% Zergs, 40% Protoss, and then like 10% Terran. So it's really hard. You really need some Terran practice partners these days.
Yeah, and I think that was his biggest problem. He said he didn't have too many builds and didn't have too much time to practice them. On the other hand, Dash has been here since like 2-3 hours back on our player computers, just juking away on ladder, trying to get back on the track.
Yeah, also he was online all night yesterday, so he takes this show match really seriously. He want to win. He want to win, and he want to show us that he can be a force to reckon with later on in the real Star League. So
I think that he will be actually. We have a bunch of very good names, a bunch of Masters players signed up. We have about 80 players, something like that, right now, and we're getting questions from our production team here. If we're ready, yes, let's roll. Let's go. Let's see players ready. Yes. The gladiators ready. Yep.
Yes, indeed. And here we go. Face. The countdown has begun. So, predictions. Do you think that SPXylla can turn this around? Or,
I think it's hard. I'm a Protoss player, and I did see, even playing in Platinum League, I saw a few mistakes there in this build. It didn't look completely tight, and it didn't look as if he had a super plan with it. And I think it's very important to know where you're going, at least so that you have something to aim for. And then, of course, you need to change that, but depending on what the other player does. But still.
Most definitely. So hopefully he can just change those small mistakes that he did and come back in this second game. The map is Daybreak this time around. And why don't you do us the honor and introduce players?
Right. In our lower left corner this time we have our Terran player, and that will be prOpDash. I'm waiting for a hooray here, but we have like a 4 or 5 second lag in the room. Oh, I got an applaud. That's always something. And in our top right corner, we have our unknown player, the dark horse, SPXylla. I'm not going to wait for the plots this time. I'm not going to do that. I talked to him a little, real quick and asked if he saw. Oh, he got a nice applaud now. It's a slow applaud, but a nice one. Golf clap.
Yes, indeed.
It's always better than something. I talked to him beforehand and asked about SP, and it turns out it's a bunch of friends who play together. And there was an internet cafe by the name of, I think, South Point that they were playing at all the time. And when it shut down, they all decided to make a team called SP in honor of their favorite internet cafe to game that. So that's a nice story right there.
Yeah, that's. I like name with meanings, just not like ultra mega super something.
Exactly, Slayers.
Yeah.
nothing special.
Nothing against Slayers. I mean, they have Boxer.
They have Boxer, or they had Boxer.
Yeah, had.
Boxer jumped off.
Past tense.
Yes.
Slayer is no more. It has
no, Slayer's not anymore. There's a lot of drama going on. I think it feels like in the StarCraft 2 scene right now. There's people getting shut off. Stefano having a lot of issues there a while. So there's a lot of strange stuff going on in the community. So how's the game going along? I'm just rambling over the first 2 minutes here because I'm pretty much expecting an economic start from both players.
Yeah, the build seems to be more or less identical to the last game. We don't see any gas from Dash, so of course it's going for the 1 rack CC once again.
Yes.
The Wall-off always keep the Protoss player guessing though. He can't be certain. It could be like a 1-1-1. You could have some funky stuff going on. But still, on the other hand, just 1 gas and the core going up. Not even building a sellout this time, so maybe even faster Nexus than last time.
All right, he wants to skip that one as well. Well, he did quite well with the early Robo last time. So I'm guessing he's reading Dash pretty well, thinking he's going to go into an economic start. Even behind that wall-off, and he's going to try to get his fast expansion, which is going to be blocked.
Yeah, and that is a risk you take as a Protoss player when you don't build that first sellout, and it's so annoying. What you do at this point, you take the 3rd as your natural? No, that's not a good idea.
No, that's not
but
really.
It delays the expansion for so much, and Dash doesn't really lose anything by doing this.
No, very much not. So what do you do? Do you throw down additional buildings waiting for it? I guess you could build a Stalker, which was not in the build early on, but how much does this throw a Protoss player back, really? I mean, every second counts, they say.
Yeah, obviously, and especially since he had some problems with the probe production, also losing a couple of probes in the last game, falling behind in the economy. So this might hurt him even more. We have to wait and see, though. He puts down the second gas just to do something with his resources, but it doesn't seem like he's going for some tech or some all-ins. No. He's just going to set out the probe and take the Nexus, a bit delayed.
So there we have the delayed Nexus coming down for Scylla. And prOpDash, meanwhile, finishing his command center, so he's got a definite lead in the economics department, if nothing else. And he hasn't really revealed what he's going for right now yet. What do you expect to see from him? You talked about a 1-1-1. I've seen a few variations of that on 2 bases. Is there what's viable? What happens on the ladder right now when you meet a Terran?
Well, usually Terran just do more or less what Dash is doing right here, doing a lot of Marines, trying to make some pushes in the mid-game before the Colossus is out.
Yeah.
But other than that, just work on the upgrades, try to take a reasonably fast 3rd base and just go into the standard bio with Viking support later also goes. I'm a bit curious about this bunker placement, though. I'm not sure what that is actually going to defend. You can just run right around it if you wanted to. Risky, but...
Yeah, I don't really get that either. Is it trying to wall? Is he planning to wall the rest of it off? I don't know why he would do that either. But it's nice. It's aesthetical, I think.
Yeah, it does make it much harder for the Protoss player to actually scout the expansion. So
that is true.
Maybe he want to keep the Protoss player guessing. Do I all in, or is it actually in the expansion build?
Well, it could be an idea to put it there and to prevent the Protoss player exactly. Oh, and we have a lot of gateways going down. This is going to be a 7 racks, 7 gate push. What do you think about this one?
This is a nice build, especially if the Terran player isn't ready for it. And as you can see, he's already built a lot of sentries just to build up their energy, so he can be able to force fill out those SCVs from repairing the bunker. So if we can get a couple of pylons down here, as we see, placing one in the middle of the map and warp in like 1 or 2 round of zealots and a couple of stalkers, this will be very hard for Dash to hold, especially since it's going for the standard 3 racks into starport.
Exactly. This could be the comeback that Xylla really needs if you want to smash him. The first game looked a little one-sided, actually, from Dash's side. He played really well, and I think that... with the placement of that pylon, does Dash know what's coming?
He certainly suspects something when you place a pylon there. So as you can see, he places down 2 bunkers, but here we go. The first round of units are incoming, and some nice force fields there, but there are so many Marines, so high DPS right now.
There's a lot of Marines here, and he would really need to force field away from some of those, and he does there. And he still has some energy for a bunch more force fields, so he could be able to just push feed these if he got a few good ones. But there's a lot of bunkers coming up.
Yeah, we'll be able to target down one of those, but still, so many Marines. But here comes the reinforcement, still warping in some units, and if we can get that bunker down, I feel like Dash is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he just got it before the SCVs got there to repair. So I think Dash is in a lot of trouble right now. He's losing Marines very quickly, and there's some zealots coming in for reinforcement from back. And I think we will like to see an aggressive forward pylon here, because if he keeps his pressure up, he's going to do very well.
Yeah, right now Dash is bleeding SCVs and is behind those, even though Xylla is going for an all-in, but he is still in this game. But the next wave of units is incoming, and the champ player can just not keep up with the production. There you have it.
GG, well played. We have a comeback.
Oh yes, Xylla equalizes it to 1-1.
Equalizes 1-1. So hopefully we're going to see a full 5 set of games here for our first best of 5. What do you think about that one? Do they look a lot more close now?
Well, I think the good thing that Xylla actually did there was he didn't stick to exactly the same build. He saw a weakness in Dash's build, and he just went for it. And
yeah, I think
Dash was not prepared for that build.
Dash was definitely not prepared for that one. He saw a weakness in it, and I think the point was he talked about just trying out a general build and not really having refined it. So I think that is the way to go, to take some old builds, things that you have in your head already, and you feel like you are actually pretty good at, and refresh those. And apparently that one worked. So how's Dash gonna recover from this? What do you think?
Yeah, that's one of the beauties with this build as well. You keep your opponent guessing. Will he go for an all-in once again? We'll go for the more macro builds, and Dash has to be more active with his scouting, I think.
Yeah.
Try to sacrifice maybe a couple of Marines, an SCV, or maybe even a scan. Just to get a good view on what the Protoss player is preparing and doing.
You're Terran. You have a way of scouting that's easy. Easy and quick, so use it. Yeah, I think so too. With that economic lead, he could really have sacrificed a few scams, getting his command center down so early.